Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juan Carlos Monsalve. Today is November 14, 2023. The time of this recording is 8:04 p.m. Eastern Time. This free information is for entertainment purposes only. If you decide to use any of my strategies, please be mindful that they may not work 100% of the times and that you may lose money. The name of the game is Baccarat. For all the scorecards, visit my website, juancarlosmonsalve.com. You can support my channel at buymeacoffee.com /juancarlosmonsalve or paypal.me /juancarlosmonsalve12. And please give a like, subscribe, ring the bell, share, sit back and observe. We are paying the Martingale betting system with some modifications. We will start with $25, the minimum bet, and we will look to make at least five original units per session. The only difference with the Martingale system is that we won't reset after a win. We will continue to bet the same amount and then double again if we lose again. We stop after a loss and we have reached our 5 units target. I mean that if we have a loss and we already have our target, then we will don't play anymore. The bets are as follows: $25, $50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1600, 3200, and 5000. And then if we continue losing, but it will remain the same 5,000 until the end. We will assume that we don't have any no limits in the funds that we have. In real life, probably we have limits. So it depends on how much we have available to play at the casino. Um, uh, Another way that you can support my channel is to Cash App at or $ Juan Carlos Monsalve. Um, and then my YouTube channel is at Juan Carlos Monsalve 1652, and my Facebook group is Baccarat Research. And you are already familiar with the spreadsheet. I won't explain that anymore. It will automatically I will enter information for player and banker, and all this data will be populated automatically. So let's go ahead and start. I will start with this is my play. This is the way that I play. This is the formula for player. My first hand, I play it. I play, or at this moment, I'm playing player. Um, and this is the formula for player. If a banker is the winner of the first hand, then I will switch to the other scorecard that is the winner, the first the banker as the first hand. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and start the shoe. And the first card, the card that we burn, this is a Jack of clubs. So I need to burn 10 cards. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for a total of 11 cards that we are burning. This is something that is done at the casino, so we do it as well. And we keep track of this card here. I'm not using this information right now. I may use it later on, but as of right now, I'm not using it. I'm collecting information for those who use that information for to deter their own strategies. Now the first hand is first card for player, banker, player, banker. And we have a banker 7 and it stands. Player has a 3 and gets a third card, and the third card is a 0. So it is 3, 7, and this is a banker hand. 3 7, 3 7, and this is a banker hand. I play player, so I lost that hand, and I lost $25. This is the first hand. Now the second hand. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Now it's a natural A banker, natural A banker, one player, one player. That was a banker hand. I was my bet was on banker, so I won this hand because I lost the one before. This bet was double, so I made $50 and I'm up $25. The third hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a six and it stands. Banker has a two and get a third card. The third card is a zero. So it is six player, two banker, and that was a player hand. I was betting on banker and I lost that hand. I lost $50. I'm down 25. Now the next bet is going to be double the 50 because I lost, and I'm betting banker my next hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has seven and it stands. Player has a five and get a third card. The third card is a zero. So it is five players, seven banker. The banker won this hand. I was betting banker. I won that hand, and then I doubled my money. The one before was 50 because I lost. Okay, that hand is 5 7. That was a banker hand. I won this hand. I won $100. Now I'm up 75. Um, Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a natural A player, excuse me, natural A banker, and player has a seven. I was a betting player, and it is a banker, so I lost this hand. I lost $100. I'm down $25. And next hand, the next hand is going to be $200, and I'm betting player in my next hand. So first card for player, banker, player, banker. Now I got a natural nine banker player. Natural nine banker has a three. That is a player hand. I was betting player. I won this hand. I won $200. I have $175. Because we are already in $200. We will keep the same bet amount. It's gonna be the same $200 next hand. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a seven banker and a stance. Player has a zero and get a third card. The third card is a four. So it is four player and seven banker. That is a banker hand. I was betting banker. I won this hand and I won another $200 for a total of $375. I only leave or stop playing or stop betting when I have a loss and I reach my target of 5 units. So I keep playing. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now player has a natural eight, but banker has a natural nine. So natural nine is a better hand. So it is a banker hand. I was playing banker. I won this hand. I won another $200 for a total of 575. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a four player, and banker has a natural eight. That is another banker hand. I was betting banker, and I won this hand. I won another $200. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a natural nine player, and banker has a zero. So this is a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost this hand. I lost $200. So I went down to $575 because the formula already knows that I already reached my target, and this is a loss that I had. Then I won't be playing anymore. I'm gonna continue with the shoe, but if I'm in the casino, I will not. I will leave. I will leave the table. So I will continue with the two just because I need to collect the data. So next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have the seven player and stands. Banker has a three and gets a third card, and the third card is a one for a total of four. So seven player, four banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a three player and zero banker. The player gets a third card, and it's a seven for a total of zero. 3 plus 7, 10. That is zero, and banker has a zero, and the third card is a nine, so it goes to nine. So zero player, nine banker. This is a banker hand. I was betting player, and I lost this hand. But you can see that the money is not moving. It's because it is formulated to stop betting at that point where when I had the previous loss and I had my target. This is the second card player, second card banker. Now banker has a natural nine, and player has a two. This is a banker hand. I was playing banker. I won this hand. Here is the count. It counts the hands that if I'm up or down, one or blue, is that I'm up. One hand, have one more hand of those that I have lost. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a six player and stands. Banker has a one and gets a third card, and the third card is a zero. So player has a six, banker has a one, and that hand, there was a player hand. I was betting player, and I won that hand. Um, Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. So I have a six player and six banker. This is a tie hand. On top here we can see the scores. I'm gonna do the titles here so I can see the top portion of the screen. We have five players, nine bankers. The first tie of the game, we have total of 15 hands. So we are going to play the next hand number 16. So first card for player, banker, player, banker. I have a three player and three banker. Player gets a third card. Third card is a two. And banker has a three and gets a third card. The third card for banker is a zero. So player five and banker has a three. That was a player hand. I was betting player, and I won this hand as well. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 2 and 0, 2 player, 0 banker. Both of them get a third card. The third card for player is a 0, and the third card for banker is a 5. So this one is a 2 player, 5 banker. That was a banker hand. I was playing a player and I lost this hand. So next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 player and banker has a 3. So this is a player hand. I was betting player. I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 player and natural 8 banker. So this is another tie, two naturals. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a 5 player and 2 banker. Both of them get a third card. Player gets a 2 for a total of 7, and banker has a 0 for a total of 2. 7-2. This is another player hand. I was betting player. I won this hand as well. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a 6 player and 6 banker. This is another hand, 6-6. We have three tie hands on this shoe that we have 21 hands. 21 hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 7 and a stance. Banker has a 2 and gets a third card. The third card is a 1. So player has a 7, 3. So this is another player. I was betting player, so I won this hand as well. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a natural 8 banker. Player has a 5. 5-8. This is a banker hand. I was playing player and I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 0 and banker has a 1, and both of them get a third card. The third card for player is a 0. The third card for banker is a 0. So player remains at 0 and banker remains at 1. This is a banker hand. I was playing banker. I won this hand. So next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. And now I have a 0 player and 5 banker. The third card for player is a 0. Because it's a 0, banker doesn't get any more cards. So it is a 0 player, 5 banker. That was a banker hand. I was playing banker and I won this hand as well. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 4 player, 3 banker, and player gets a third card. It's a 2 for a total of 6. 6 player, and banker gets a third card, and the third card is a 0, so he remains at 3. 6-3. That was a player hand. I was betting player and and I won this hand as well. Next hand, first card player, a banker, player, banker. I have a 5 player and 0 banker. Both of them get a third card. Player gets a 4 for a total of 9. Banker, the third card is a 5, so it is 9-5. This is a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 7 and it stands, and banker has a 3 and gets a third card, and he gets a 4 plus 3 equals 7, so 7 7. This is another tie. So we have 4 ties in this shoe so far. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 6 banker and 0 player. Player gets a third card. The third card is a 0. So it is 0 and banker has a 5. 8 by 7, 15, meaning 5. So 0 5. The banker won this hand. I was playing banker. I won this hand. Next hand. First card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 7 and stands, banker has a 5 and gets the third card. The third card for banker is a 9, so he reduces that 5 to 4. So 7 player and 4 banker. This is a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 4 player and 5 banker. The player gets a third card. The third card is a 6 because we got a 6 player third card. For the third card for banker, if we get anything from 4, 5, 6, or 7, we need to get a third card for banker. The third card is a 2. So player is a 0 and banker is 7. And that was a banker hand. I was betting banker. I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 0 and banker has 1. Both of them get a third card. Player gets a 1, so it was 1, and banker has a 1 plus 2 equals 3. So player 1, banker 3, and that is a banker hand. I was playing banker and I won this hand as well. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 5 and get a third card. Banker has a 2 and get a third card. 5 plus 9 equals 4. 4 player and banker gets a third card, and the third card is a 6 for a total of 8. So 4, 8. That was a banker hand. I was betting player. I lost this hand. The next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 7 player and stands and 6 banker and stands. This is a player hand. I was betting player. I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now have a natural A player and natural A banker for a tie, for another tie. 8, 8, 2 naturals. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 0 and banker has a 4. The third card for player is a 7. And banker with a 4, he gets a third card if he receives anything from 2 to 7. So the third card for banker is a 0. So player 7, banker 4. That was a player hand. I was betting player and I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 4 and banker has a 1. Both of them get a third card. The third card for player is a 6 for a total of 0. and banker has a 1 and get a third card. The third card is a 7 for a total of 8. So 0-8. Banker won this hand. I was betting banker and I won this hand. Next hand. First card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 0 player and banker 5. The third card for player is a 4 and banker 5. It gets a third card if anything from 4 to 7. So the third card for banker is an 8. That it reduces this 5 to 3. So that was a 4-3. Player won this hand. Player, I was betting player and I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 3 and get a third card. Banker has a 2 and get a third card. Uh, 3 plus 8, 1. And banker has a 2 and 1 is equal 3. So 1, 3. So this was a banker hand. I was betting a player. I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a natural 8 banker. Player has a 4. So this is a banker hand. I was betting banker and I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 0 and get a third card. The third card is a 7. Banker has a 5 and we get the third card if we get anything from 4 to 7. We got a 7. So the third card for banker is a 0. So 7, 5. 7, 5. This was a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost this hand. Next hand. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 player and natural 9 banker. This is another tie, 9, 9, two naturals. We have 6 ties so far. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 3 player and 3 banker. Player's third card is an 8. So you reduce this 3 to 1. And because banker has a 3 and we got an 8, we don't get any more cards for banker. Banker has a 3. So 1, 3, that was a banker hand. I was betting player. I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 3 and banker has a 0. Player third card is a 0. So it remains at 3 and banker has a 0 and the third card is a 3. So 3, 3. And this is another tie hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 6 player and a stance, banker a 3 and get a third card. The third card is a 0, so 6, 3. And that was a player hand. I was betting player and I won this hand. And next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 2 player and 5 banker. Player third card is a 2 for a total of 4. Banker 5 only get a third card if we get anything from 4 to 7, so no more cards. So 4 player, 5 banker. This is a banker hand. I was betting banker, so I won that hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 player and 2 banker. That is a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has one and get a third card. And the third card is a five, so one plus five equals six. And banker has a three. He gets a third card. The third card is an eight for a total of one. So 6-1. Player won this hand. I was betting player. I won this hand as well. So next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a four and banker has a one. The third card for player is a seven, so it goes to one. Reduces 4-1, and banker that has one plus one equals two. So 1-2. That was a banker hand. I was betting banker and I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have seven player and it stands. Banker four and gets a third card, and the third card is a zero. So seven player and four banker. That was a player hand. I was betting banker and I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player seven and it stands. Banker one and gets a third card, and the third card is a zero. So seven player, one banker. That was a player hand. I lost this hand. I was betting banker. I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has two and banker has one. The third card for player is a six for a total of eight. The third card for banker is a zero, so it remains at one. So eight player, one banker. I lost that hand as well. Three losses in a row. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. So player has four and get a third card. Banker has two and get a third card as well. So four plus six equals 10 or zero, and banker has a two and the third card is a zero, so it remains at two. 0-2. That was a banker hand. I was betting player and I lost the hand. I lost four hands in a row. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a seven and stands. Banker has a one and gets a third card, and the third card is an eight for a total of nine. So seven player, nine banker. That was a banker hand. I was betting banker and I won this hand. Next, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a two and get a third card. Banker has a seven and it stands. The third card for player is a three for a total of five. Five player, seven banker. That was a banker hand. I was betting player and I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have say seven player and it stands. Banker four and gets a third card. The third card is an eight for a total of two. So 7-2. That was a player hand. I was betting banker and I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a five and gets a third card. The third card is four for a total of nine. Nine player and banker has a six. We don't get any more cards for banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a three and banker has a seven. Uh, Three player remains at three and banker has a 7. So this is a banker hand. I was playing player, so I lost the hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a natural 8, and banker has a 6. That is a player hand. I was a very player, and I won the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 3 and banker has a 4. The third card for player is a 0, so it remains a 3 and banker has a 4. No more card for banker. This is a banker hand. I was betting player. I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 3 and get a third card. Banker has a 4. The The player remains at 3 and banker has a 4. This one is a banker hand. I will bet in banker, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 1 and gets a third card. Banker has a 5. The third card for player is a 7 for a total of 8. And banker has a 5 and it gets a third card if it gets anything from 4 to 7. So the third card for banker is a 0, so it remains at 5, a 5. Player, that was a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost my hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Now player has a natural 9 and player has a 0. And that was a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now bank is a natural 8. Okay, we are playing hand number 65. The first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a natural 8 and banker has a 3. That was a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost the hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 4 and banker has a 0. Both of them get a third card. The third card for player is a 0, so it remains at 4 and the 0 plus 6. Banker third card. This is a banker hand. I was betting player. I lost his hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 5 and gets a third card. Player banker has a 2 and get a third card. 5 plus 9 reduces player to 4. And banker has a 2 plus 4 equals 6. So this is a banker hand. I was betting player. I lost his hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 4 and gets a third card. Banker has a 0 and gets a third card. The third card for player is a 3 for a total of 7. And banker has a 0 and the third card is a 1. 7 1 is the total, so it is a player hand. I was betting banker and I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, first card banker, second card player, second card banker. Banker player has a natural 9, banker has a 0. That was a player hand. I was betting player and I won this hand. Um, Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Both of them have zero, zero, zero. The third card for player is a 4, and the third card for banker is a 9. So this is a banker hand for 9. That was a banker hand. I was betting banker, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 9, natural 9, and banker has a 1. So this is a player hand. I was betting banker and I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. The player has a 0 and banker has a 3. The third card for player is a 3. And banker has a 3, so he gets a third card. The third card is a 5 for a total of 8. 3, 8. This is a banker hand. I was betting banker, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 7 and stands. Banker has a 0 and gets a third card. The third card is a 4. So 7, 4. That was a player hand. I was betting banker and I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 6 and stands. Banker has a 1 and gets a third card, and the third card is a 4 for a total of 5. So 6 player, 5 banker. That was a player hand. I was betting player, so I won the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker. Now I got the cut card, so we will play this hand plus one more. Second card player, second card banker. We have a natural 9 banker, and player has a 7. So 7, 9 banker. I was playing banker. I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. The player has a 0 and gets a third card. Banker has a 6. And now player gets a third card is a 6 and banker gets a third card when the player third card is a 6 or 7. So this one requires a third card and the third card is a 0. So 6, 6. That was 6, 6. That was another tie. So we will play the last hand. The last hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has 3 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0, so player remains at 3, and banker gets a third card. It's another 0, so it remains uh, at at 1. So 3, 1. That is a player hand. That was betting player, and I won that hand. So the total of hands of this shoe were 77 hands. We got 34 players, 35 bankers, and 8 tied for a total of 77. And in my formula here, I was up 5 units. And the whole shoe, I was up 5 units. What happened here in this game is that I start losing because I start with player and the winner was banker, so I lost my first $25 here. But in hand number 10, this is hand number 10, I already made my target, or more than my target. My target is 5 units of 25, that is 125. Here I was winning. I don't leave the table if I'm winning. It has to be a loss for me to evaluate if I have my target. If I have my target, then I will leave the table. I don't stay at the table. I just leave, and possibly I leave the casino to avoid the temptation of going into another table and playing more. I already made my target. You can go to another casino, don't stay at the same casino. At some point on this game, I was up several units. I was up 10 units, 11 units, 10 units, 11 units, 10, 11, 12 units. At some point I was up, but then it started going down. At this moment, I was not betting any money because I already got my target, but it started going down. The same happened because the physical universe is balanced or try to stay balanced. That's why it goes up and it goes down. The same thing that we can see here. I play both colors. I play players and bankers. And the way that it finished here, it finished with 34 players and 35 bankers. It's very balanced. Most of the times they choose and balance. So if you are playing only one color, let's say that you are playing banker, well, as soon as you are up with banker and you get your target, you have to leave the casino, leave the table. If you are playing player, the same thing. This strategy allows you to do that because at some point you will win some hands in a row. When you win some hands in a row, you are making your losses back because now you are betting more. This is the way that it ended. I have the several scorecards. It keeps automatically. It fills the scorecards here from 1 to 11. Let's see what we see here. I see here three bankers in a row, five players, three players, um, three bankers, three players. In 1 to 10, I see three players, three bankers, four players, five bankers here. Um, in 1 to 9, I see four players here, four, five players. I see here five bankers and five players. 1 through 8, I see here three bankers, five players, um, four players, five bankers, three players, um, five players, four players here, three, six, seven bankers here, five players here, four players, three bankers. 1 through 6, I see here three bankers, four players, three players, five more players here, say, and one more player here, separated by this tie. And here I see three bankers, one tie, and then three, six, eight bankers in a row. 1 through 5, I see here three players. I see here three bankers, three players, four players. 1 through 4, I see here three, five players, one tie, and then four more banks. Excuse me, five banks, five bankers, one player, four more players. And I see here three players, three more players, or three more players for a total of nine players in a row, three bankers in a row here. This is for you to see that no matter how you write the game, you will always have patterns. Those patterns exist. There are people that don't think that there are patterns in this game. Yes, there are patterns. And the thing is that if we don't write down the game at the casino, we don't know because the casino is making things so easy for us that they have those screens so they show us something and we need to see what it shows there but we don't see the different ways that the game can be written that we can learn from that game. On this one, the 1 to 2, I see three players, three more plus two, total of eight, three more players here, three bankers here. Um, this is the information. All the scorecards I put them in my website juancarlosmonsalve.com. You can review them there. They are free of charge. You can print them. You can review them. You can verify your own strategies towards those those scorecards. See if your existing strategies work. uh, with several shoes, not just one shoe, two shoes. I have more than 30 shoes as of right now that you can review there. That information is free. Everything that you see here is free. If you would like to support my work, if you would like to support my this information, you can do it through paypal.me /Juan Carlos Monsalve 12, or a website buy me a coffee in buymeacoffee.com /Juan Carlos Monsalve. You can also use Cash App dollar sign Juan Carlos Monsalve. You can also um, visit my YouTube channel, that is at Juan Carlos Monsalve 1652, or my Facebook group Baccarat Research. Please give it a thumbs up to this video, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell so you get the notifications, share this video with others, and when you're watching the videos you can make notes. If not, you can just sit and observe. You will be able to see what kind of things happen within the game, so it prepares you for your next shoe when you go to the casino. Or you play online. I don't recommend playing online. I don't play online. um, but if you play online and you want to use the system, you can do that. um, Something that is very important is that I'm providing this information not because I want to provide you with the strategies. I want to provide you with the information so you can create your own strategies. So this is all for today. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna keep trying to record one video every day. This is today's video, November 14, 2023, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you and have a great night.